I'm sitting in this chair, staring at a completely blank Word document. Word count 0, ideas running through my mind 0, but assignment due in less than 3 hours. Younger Adrian used to always procrastinate. Younger Adrian used to always leave important tasks till the very last minute. Uni assignments, making videos, productive hobbies. He'd always push them far back because he never wanted to do them first thing in the morning. It's funny because I can brutally remember in high school, my teacher they'd give me a reasonable time frame to accomplish something. Like this 3K word assignment I had. When I got introduced to it, they said, okay class, you have 4 weeks to accomplish a 3,000 word essay. When I'd hear the teacher say that, my mind would be in a good headspace. I'd think, okay, 4 weeks, I can try smash around 500-700 words a week, and that will kind of help me be on the right time frame to accomplish the goal of completing this essay. My mind would be in the right headspace. I'd think I'd be productive and would be able to accomplish this goal. But when I'd go home, the negative thoughts would already start to bombard my brain. The thoughts of, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll just play video games first and do it after. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow rolls around. We now have 3 weeks and 6 days till the essay's due. I'm still feeling pretty happy, knowing that I have a little bit of breathing space, knowing that it's not due tomorrow. I can just push it another day, and another day, and another day. And then we got to the point of me sitting in this chair with a blank document 3 hours out before the due date. I look back now and I used to have some of the most abysmal productivity levels. I was that lazy guy. I was not disciplined. I was not productive. I thought I was disciplined because at the time I was going to the gym relatively consistently, maybe 2-3 times a week. But that was the only area of my life which I was semi-productive, just because of the fact that I liked going to the gym. It almost became my new comfort zone. But in terms of other areas like recording videos, finishing assignments, reading books, I lacked productivity severely. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 main lessons which ultimately helped me improve and increase my productivity levels to honestly become a reborn version of myself. And now, if I'm being brutally honest and authentic with you, I'm progressing at such a faster rate. I hope this can help you become a much more productive version of yourself. Lesson number 1, stop thinking you were born lazy. I know you probably clicked on this video expecting some oh, do this to be productive. You have a cold shower in the morning. Do no You've heard that a million times. This first lesson is probably the most essential because if you do these productivity hacks you've probably seen in other videos, but your mindset isn't even on your side, do you really think you're going to stay productive in the long term? Or do you think it's just going to be a quick little short-term fix? You're going to do cold showers for 5 days because that's some productive habit. But then after a week, you're going to forget about it just because your mind's still fucked up. Your mind is still not even on your side. You still have this negative self-image from high school thinking that you were born lazy and that you're born with what you have. You can't become productive because in high school you were known as the lazy guy. I was known as the lazy guy. And now the fact that I'm sitting here recording this video at 6 a.m, it's pretty mind-blowing because younger Adrian, he wouldn't do this. He would always wake up at 8:55 when school was about to start in 5 minutes, but he was still in his bed. I have to bus to school and then I'm getting there at 9:30. There was no such thing as productivity back in the day. It all starts with your mental hardware, and if your mental hardware isn't on your side, don't even bother watching the rest of this video. You can listen to the rest of the lessons, but your brain isn't on the right wavelength yet. And now you're probably asking, how did I get my brain to go on my side? This leads to lesson number 2. Look good, feel good. Younger Adrian back in high school would never take care of his looks, would never get haircuts consistently, would never take care of his diet because he would just indulge in pleasurable junk food because that made him feel good. But in the long term, it gave him acne and an increased body fat percentage, led to me having double, triple chins. No other self-improvement YouTuber would say this, but looks is actually relatively important in terms of your productivity levels. Who's going to be more productive? Genuinely ask yourself, who is going to be more productive? The guy who wakes up in the morning looking and feeling like absolute shit? Or the guy who wakes up in the morning who is pretty satisfied and kind of happy with how he looks? Who's going to record a more entertaining, charismatic YouTube video? The guy who looks like shit or the guy who's confident with how he looks? You hear this propaganda saying, oh, looks aren't everything, just be happy with you, just eat whatever you want, indulge in pleasure because as long as you're happy, you're happy. bullshit. It's feminine. The masculine thing for you to do would be to hop on self-improvement, go to the gym consistently, take care of your physical appearance because it actually is one of the most important things in life. Obviously, yeah, I understand it's not everything, and that you building an extra 2 kilos of muscle, yeah, it's kind of superficial, but it'll make you a little bit more happier, and it could potentially and eventually help attract the feminine girl you want to attract at the like initial phase. Obviously, yeah, once you dig into relationships, yeah, it's more about like emotional intelligence, personality, etc. You shouldn't cope and make excuses and say to yourself, "Oh, physical appearance is nothing, Adrian. I'm not going to the gym because I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy that I'm a fat fuck. I still attract girls that I'm fat." It's such a feminine beta mindset to have. And it's a mindset which I used to have. I used to be that tired ass and be like, I'm not getting a haircut. I'm going to push it another month and another month. Brother, I had like some long fucking hair and deep down I hated it, but I would cope. I would cope. And the fact that you're watching this video as well, you've been coping for your whole lifetime. You're probably low testosterone. You probably haven't got sunlight for fucking like 3 months. Looks to everything. And how do you improve and like increase your looks, become more attractive, so you can become more confident, so in the long run, you can become more productive? 3 simple tricks. First, go outside, get sunlight, get a tan, full exposure, top off, stop being a bitch and saying, oh, skincare. Bro, 10 to 20 minutes, top off. It's only going to benefit you. 2, get consistent haircuts. I'm pretty due for one. I have a buzz cut, but the fade's kind of gone. I'm going to get one literally tomorrow to freshen up so I can be more entertaining behind the camera. I just feel better every single time I have a fresh buzz, okay? And 3, stay hydrated. Hydration is essential for improving your looks. You don't want to be that dehydrated guy who just looks flat and scrawny, crusty skin. Please drink at least 3 to 4 liters of water a day, because that's going to help benefit you, provide your muscles with the water it needs for train harder in the gym, right? So 3 quick and simple steps. You don't have to go like deep down in the whole looks maxing route. Don't have to mute. You don't have to do all that shit. Get the basics, and in the long term, you're going to be more productive with your work. Lesson number 3, batching tasks. When you go to the gas station, you don't fill up your car by 5%. When you wash dishes, you don't wash one dish and stop. Same thing when you're washing laundry. If you have 50 pieces of like white clothing, you don't wash one piece of white clothing. You'd wash all of the white clothes, because that's the most productive way of doing things. I can look you dead in the eye right now and I see that you're not batching your tasks with your homework, with your content, even with your gym journey, as stupid as that sounds. When you're trying to study and you get in the flow state, you start to get the roll of things, but then you stop after you've done like one practice quiz. Why did you stop? Why didn't you batch and do all of the same practice quizzes about the same topic because you're in the flow of things? The fact that you stopped, now the next time when you return to study, you have to fight through that like initial fog phase again of it requiring a little bit of discipline. When I first heard about this in a YouTube video a couple years ago, it was such simple advice, but it was advice which I could relate to so much because I wouldn't do this. I would know deep down the smarter thing for me to do would be to batch my tasks and do more in a short period of time, because that will get me ahead. But I wouldn't do it. I'd always take the easy feminine route because that was more comforting. That was less daunting. The top guys aren't doing this. And if you're in self-improvement, you want to get ahead of the pack. You want to make progress in the shortest amount of time possible, like we all do. I'm sitting here today and yeah, I want to work smarter, not harder. I want to get more work done in a shorter period of time. I don't have to do more work in a longer period of time. I want to get shit done now. And so do you. Stop being feminine and letting your brain say otherwise. You want to get ahead. You want to be more productive. That's literally why you clicked on this video. 5 productivity tips to be, you want to be more productive. Cool, great. All right, let's get past that. So do I. Batch your tasks. Because if you're not batching your tasks, you're just going to fall behind. You're going to let someone overtake you and get the best of you. If you want to start posting content and you think posting 1 video a day is enough, do another one. Post 2 videos. Record 2 videos. Record 3, record 4, record 5. Because you got in the flow state. You made the most of that period of time when you were locked in. And this ultimately made you the most productive version of yourself. Same thing with gym. You don't go to the gym and, let's say you're training chest. You don't do one chest exercise per day. In this one session, in this one period of time, when you go to the gym to purely train chest, you do your 3 to 4 chest exercises because that is the most efficient way of doing things. And no, I'm not Sam Sulek. I don't give two fucks about all the science, but we all understand that at least. So why aren't you doing this with your homework? Why aren't you doing this with your content? Batch your tasks. Lesson number 4, airplane mode. Your attention span right now is your most valuable asset and you're wasting it because your phone, the device you're probably watching this video on right now, you never have it on airplane mode. You cope and you say that, oh, Adrian, do not disturb is enough because if people have to call me, at least they can call twice and then it'll come through. But because I'm important, I'm really, really important and I need to make sure if this girl messages me back, I need to constantly check if my noties are there. Because I'm important. Brother, you're not important. Like, if I was in danger, you would be at like the very end of my contact list to contact. You are not important and no one is gonna contact you if they're in an emergency. And I can honestly and authentically say that neither am I. My phone's on airplane mode recording this video. If someone's in an emergency, whether it be my mum, siblings, whoever, they're not going to call me. They're going to call the ambulance or police. If one of my friends is in an emergency, he can just call one of my other friends. Why do I do this for periods of the day? Why do I put my phone on airplane mode? Because my attention span is my most valuable asset. And when I can eliminate and disintegrate all distractions and not let other people's thoughts consume me throughout the day and try to distract me, when I can do that, my focus has just gone up by like, honestly, probably like 60-70%. Just because I put my phone on airplane mode for a couple hours, I could get like good quality work done. Stop thinking you're important. And I know this is really hard for your ego at first to realize, I am important. I need to make sure if this 2 out of 10 chick replies back to me, even though she's messaging like 100 other guys, I need to value and get the dopamine hit when I see her noti. That's what I would do. And it wouldn't really be that beneficial long term just because kind of just drift away. Airplane mode is powerful. No one does this. I hope you take action on this lesson. The final lesson for today's video, lesson number 5, fast. It's currently 7 a.m. I don't plan on eating till like 2-3 p.m. Now you're probably thinking, you need to eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You need energy, right? Adrian, how are you doing this without eating? You need to eat for energy. Bullshit. Every single time you eat, you're putting a whole bodily system, aka your gut, to work, which requires energy. Every single time you eat your big little breakfast with like 4 whole eggs, avocado, toast, whatever, yeah, it'll give you energy in the long term. Like it'll provide you with glycogen, sugars, carbohydrates, fats, protein, etc. In the long term. In the short term, it's going to make you feel groggy. It's going to make you feel lethargic. You're going to be in a carb coma. You're going to take a big yawn. You're not going to be able to sit down and do something which actually requires and uses your brain. If I was to sit down in this chair right now, younger Adrian from literally an hour ago ate this big breakfast, he wouldn't be able to speak this fluently. He wouldn't be able to speak this precise and concisely. He'd be a spastic. He'd be yawning, he'd be mumbling, he'd be saying He'd be a mess. I only started fasting this year because I used to always cope. I used to watch videos that would say fast, but I didn't believe in it because I'd care so much about my protein synthesis and that I need to eat my high protein breakfast because muscle recovery. Bro, I don't plan on being a bodybuilder. Why did I care so much about like the science? I like going gym. I like building muscle. We all love building muscle, but I didn't want to be a bodybuilder. And you probably don't either. You want to be able to get deep quality work done. So why aren't you putting yourself in the best possible position to do so? By fasting, by delaying your first meal. You're still gonna hit your total protein intake. You're just delaying it. It can wait. Your work is more important. Protect and save your brain power because when you can, you're gonna shock yourself so much. I wish I started fasting earlier because I would always wake up and just eat and then go through a whole like 2 to 3 hour groggy phase and just waste hours on end. Delay your first meal. Put the fork down and your future self will thank you. I hope this video educated and motivated you. I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching mentorship. It will be the first link in the description. Other than that, make sure to click the subscribe button and that little bell icon. Kind of like remind you when I post videos and you can watch them as soon as humanly possible. I'll see you in the next video. Whoop!